Yeah, now that the emotions are really gone down, let's actually look at what really went down yesterday. I would love to start with congratulations to PSG, congratulations to Luis Enrique, and congratulations to the players from the goalkeeper to Dembele. Everybody were fantastic. They played a very beautiful game. And I would also love to say congratulations to Mikel Arteta. Yes, I'm not in the best frame of mind to talk about this game because I'm a die-hard Arsenal fan. But we have to do this for the community. I have to come out and tell you exactly how I feel and where we actually got it wrong and where we can go from here. So I would love to say congratulations to every player, every Arsenal player that played the game. And I would also love to say a nice one from Mikel Arteta. He has done a very fantastic job. If you look at it progressively, Mikel Arteta first of all got to the quarterfinals, got to the semi-final twice, and now to the finals. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. That means Mikel Arteta has what it takes to get us over the line. Yes. Now I know a lot of rival fans must have rattled us. That's aside. This is a safe space for you to drop your comments and say what you think. So we'll dive into the game analysis properly. Now, if you look at it actually, from the get-go, we lost the game from the get-go. Yes. We were compact from the defense to the midfield, from the midfield to the attack. But the game was actually won in the mid of the park. Yes. So I'll give credit to three individual fantastic players: Vitinha, Joao Neves, and Fabian Ruiz. So our discussion majorly will be, the bulk of our discussion will be about the midfield trio, the midfield mastering. Now, I'll first of all like to start with Arsenal defenders. We have gotten it right from the goalkeeper to Hero Nkapi, Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, and Julian Timber. We have gotten it perfectly right. We have gotten it perfectly right. Now, come to the midfield. If we must be very sincere and frank with ourselves, the only person that matches the quality of PSG yesterday was Declan Rice. Myles Lewis-Skelly is not there. Odegaard is not actually what we need to go over the line. Now, I wouldn't want to talk about the wingers and then the point man. I wouldn't want to dwell so much around them. Because if you look at the game yesterday, the victory wasn't about Dembele. He was almost out. Kvaratskhelia out. Doe out. Bakola out. No, it wasn't actually about them. It was actually about Joao Neves, Vitinha, and Fabian Ruiz. Fantastic game. They had a very beautiful game plan. Held down the midfield. Dictated the pace of the game. Now, if you notice from 30 minutes, they dictated the pace of every game. Everything that happened in the game, they dictated the pace. They kept asking the right questions. And if you see, the attackers were not very clinical. That's why I'm going to exclude the attackers and the wingers. They were not very, very clinical. That's why they couldn't punish us. But though, Kvaratskhelia got the best of Mosquera. If you follow me, if you have been following me, you will remember I did a post about Mosquera putting us into problem. Mosquera being the danger. Mosquera being the weak link in our defense. If it starts against Kvaratskhelia, definitely it is calamity. You can go back and check the video. Now, Mosquera was the weak link and Kvaratskhelia took advantage of it. And even Luis Enrique knew Kvaratskhelia wasn't the best man for the job. So let's not give credit to the wingers and the attackers, like I've always done every game, like I've always been doing. The game is always won in the midfield. Now, if you look at the prestigious Barcelona trio, yes, Sergio Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta, they were the one in charge of the midfield. Whoever they play with as the wingers or as the attackers, doesn't matter. They always deliver. That's why they won the World Cup and won the Euros. And then they are the greatest midfield, modern day midfield example, because they gave it their all. They understood each other perfectly well. They were a perfect blend. So elsewhere, let's go to Real Madrid. Toni Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro. You can tell how many numbers of Champions League they won together. Irrespective of who were in the flanks, they were coordinating the midfield so much, they would dominate the game that you wouldn't have an option. Even average attackers, average wingers will score. They will create opportunities for average wingers and average attackers to score, making great impact in the game, dictating the pace of the game. Let's go to Manchester City, where you have Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, and also Odegaard. And you can see, whenever you see them play, that's why they had back-to-back EPL, 4 back-to-back EPL, because the midfield is where the game is being played. If we are being sincere with ourselves, the penalty wasn't the problem. A lot of persons want to blame Eberechi for the penalty and his antecedent of doing the same thing in Crystal Palace and losing the PK. That's out of it. Some person want to blame Gabriel Magalhaes. That's out of it. Like I've always said, like I've always maintained, penalty is a game of luck and a game of chance. But if you look at the game critically, we lost the game in the midfield, in the middle of the park. Kudos to Joao Neves, Vitinha, and Fabian Ruiz. They were perfect. They were perfect. They were the example of the modern day midfield. They bossed the midfield so much. They bossed the midfield. They gave it their all. And the only person that could match them was Declan Rice. Now, when Myles Lewis-Skelly gets to that ceiling, he's still a teenager. But going forward, Eberechi and Odegaard are not exactly what we need for creativity. They are not exactly what we need for creativity. One would say the coach got the lineup wrong. One would say he should have started Zubimendi, because when Zubimendi came in with Eberechi, we had a little form of stability, but the game had already gone so far. Our players have already been subdued. If you look at the game from the 60th to almost the 80th minute to 90th minute, we couldn't string 3 passes. We couldn't make 3 passes. They were all through the game. They were not even 1-2. A single 1-2 that you had with against West Ham, where you had Declan Rice and Odegaard before giving the assist to Trossard. There was nothing of such in our game all through the 120 minutes. They managed us. They marshaled us all through the midfield. In the middle of the park, they were fantastic. So there is no blame to anybody. I will personally say that Arsenal needs 2 more midfielders. 2 more midfielders. Someone to anchor the midfield with Declan Rice and a creative spark. If you look at it, we've always had creative players. We have a lot of creativity when Wenger was our coach. A lot of creativity. We had Cazorla, we had Rosicky, we had Sami Nasri, we had Fabregas. So Wenger always had plenty of creative players. Yes, but right now, we do not have any of such. So, going forward, Arteta has to get 2 more. Going forward, Arteta has to get 2 more quality midfielders. This is not the time to trust an academy player. No. This phase of the project is where you get only results. Results is all that matters right now. Results is all that matters. And what is stopping Arteta from getting this result is 2 quality midfielders in the class of Declan Rice. We do not need average midfielders again. We do not need to come and gamble. No, we need to check the market. That's where and the better comes in. Look at the quality of midfielders that can work with Declan Rice to get this result. Because if you look at the EPL, a lot of shaking up has been done. If you look at even in the European competition, a lot of shaking up has been done in many clubs. So everybody will be fighting for that Champions League final spot. And we have been there. We lost it because we couldn't curtail our opponents. Rather, they curtailed us. Yes, they took charge of the whole game. So right now, we have to get quality midfielders. Like I've always said, the attackers and the wingers, even at average, look at what Madueke did when he came in. Madueke almost won us a PK. Yes. Look at Bakola. He wasn't so fantastic, but he had a good game. Yes.
So right now, what we need is two quality midfielders. Two quality midfielders that can partner with Declan Rice. So we have quality midfield. And when we have such, we already know we have one of the best defense in Europe. We have one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So what we need right now is two capable hands, one for creativity and one to hold it down when Declan Rice goes to mark. Yes. So therefore, we need quality midfielders that can do the job, so that can execute the job. I know a lot of names come across. I know we have been linked with a lot of names, but this is time to go into the market and do what you need to do because Arteta has really done a fantastic job, which needs to be crowned with Champions League. Without that Champions League, the project is not complete because that is the major trophy that is lacking in our cabinet.